he's our area director. Magnanimous is definitely an adjective that applies to him. He has been enthusiastic and energetic in supporting us ever since he has been involved with us from the beginning as area director. David was born and raised outside the United States, as most of you know, and learned English as a second language, and realized that just learning the language alone would not suffice. So he's been in Toastmasters for almost a decade, and he's served in multiple officer roles. He's led several TLI sessions. He has spoken at multiple district conferences, and he's completed a division speech contest as well. He also started a corporate club at a Fortune 500 company in 2010. And he's currently, as I mentioned, our Area 25 director. His topic for his, what I wanted to mention too is because he's been in Toastmasters for over 10 years, he started in the legacy program, and he has achieved 2 levels of competency in that. One is the ACG, that's a Advanced Communicator Gold, is that right, David?
Yes.
And then he's also achieved the Advanced Leader Bronze, and he's also a level 4 in Pathways in the Visionary Communication path. His speech title tonight is How to Stay Positive in a Pandemic, and it is a level 3 speech, and which is interesting that he's doing that, because it does give practical evidence that you can jump around in Pathways. You don't necessarily have to complete anything in sequence, and you can go back to pick up things that you may have skipped over prior. So please warmly welcome our first speaker for this evening, David Young.
Fellow Toastmaster guests, as you're seeing me in front of the computer screen, we have been staying at home for almost 3 weeks. This is a pandemic that we're struggling with, not as individual, but as team. And because of this trying time and this magnanimous uncertainty that we're facing, I want to share this topic with you, that is how to stay positive. If you walk down to the street, what do you see nowadays? You're seeing Americans wearing a lot of these masks. You can hear my voice is muffled because this is a barrier to protect us from the coronavirus. But by no means this barrier will keep us apart. Start with the numbers, as usual. Because of any crisis, we had to have figures. This is the current coronavirus cases in the United States. If you look at the upper right-hand corner, you can see how much cases there are in the state of New York. 138,836. And Joey, I reach out to you because I'm worried for you, my friends in New York City, and also for those of us who have loved ones, including our guests who have loved ones in the city. But also looking at other states, that this number is being spread all over across the US. This is a number as of today at 1:14 p.m. Eastern Time, released by Johns Hopkins University. But we shouldn't just look in the United States. As Faith mentioned, there are many of us with links, relationship outside the United States, including myself in Hong Kong. If you take a look at the world chart, you can see the darkest color, it's not China. Take a look on the left, it's us. But by no means that we are by ourselves, because the whole world is on red alert. This is not good. This is a pandemic that we see as of this morning, how many cases we have. And this is not going into the fatality. With the dying news, I want to share the 3 categories of our basic human needs and highlight one area that I want to share with you what I've encountered this weekend and also the last 2 days up to this meeting. So this is a recent event, and I would like to share some positivity with the group. As human beings, we have 3 fundamental needs: physical, financial, emotional. Physical is our health and well-being. Obviously, during coronavirus, we had to stay healthy, stay quarantined, isolated, so that we don't contract the virus. Financial is about our wealth. our money, not just the money in our wallet, but our savings, our assets, and also security. Your security links, again, with your financial stability. Can you maintain and whittle through this pandemic? Today, since I only have 5 to 7 minutes, I want to focus specifically on the last item here, but it's also the most important: emotion. Everybody here heard about emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is about EQ. We heard about IQ, but what about EQ, which is our mental and spiritual need? And for those of us who are not believer, you may not have that spiritual aspect linked to a religion, but you might have a belief on a higher calling, like what Camille talked about in her openings. Yes, we need to have spiritual belief as well. So today I would like to dive into that topic, emotional intelligence. How do I help me to grow my emotional intelligence? This weekend I had the honor to participate in a private but very powerful conference with 380 participants across the United States, Europe, and Canada. This training name is called The Next Level. And again, I cannot share everything because this is a private session. You have to pay for it. Chris Lee and Chris Hawker are the trainers. You saw in the picture. Chris Hawker is located in Columbus, Ohio. He's started this business for almost 10 years. And one of his goals is to train us on EQ, emotional intelligence. And this happened way before the pandemic. How do you discover yourself? How do you understand what you want out of life? How do you overcome struggles? We always have problems. Chris Lee himself, he's a transformative coach. If you look at the bottom right screen, he wrote a book, How to Transform Your Life, but he's tuning in from Miami, Florida. He had a great career, but his starting point is very grit because he lived in a very, very difficult family, and then he been through different obstacles before. So this is the mindset this training gave me, is to shift your mindset. Emotional intelligence is about shifting your mindset to the positive. Again, I'm happy to talk to you more about the training itself, but my major takeaway, you can see the 7 shifts, is what's the possibility to how do you stay positive. One of his tools that I want to share with you is meditation. This is a live Zoom conference. He actually did a meditation, a long meditation with us. I'm not going to do that with us due to time, but here are the 5 basic steps on meditation. I know all of us are busy. We got Zoom call. I have back-to-back Zoom call, over 100 Zoom call, over 1,000 hours. That's a lot, the last 3 weeks, staring at the computer and the camera. How do you take a break from it? These are the 5 steps. Do your breathing exercise. Some of you might have heard of. Some of you who do yoga might have heard of. Practice doing that. Understand how to do it. Another great event that I've been through, obviously, is Toastmasters. And one thing that I'm connected to Bob is because Bob is my mentor. And he has a powerful, powerful way to leave us. His cat. I know, Faith, you also have cat. Karen, talk about adopting animals. Animal can be powerful in raising your EQ. Can be very powerful raising your EQ. Because of Bob's involvement, we're able to have a great meeting yesterday at Inspiration. This is our meeting. I took screenshot for every single meeting, including this one. So I can see how do you look, how do you behave during the meeting. This is our meeting. Another meeting I attended today is with I at her Vienna Toastmaster Club. It's a 6-hour difference. I have the honor and the privilege to join them, even though we are thousands of miles apart. Again, using the network, using your feeling, emotional intelligence to get yourself outside the bubble. In closing, I just want to be fair with you to share one little things. It's about emotional intelligence, but it's also a Chinese word. The word is called fu. You can see it right here. The Chinese word fu means full, basically a glass full. Is your glass half full or half empty? How do you perceive your emotional intelligence? How do you perceive you think you have great IQ versus somebody who might be struggling? Use that gift to help other people, especially in this time of need. Madam Toastmaster.